Okay, we're going to move into D7, an update from Davon Miller, a local children's author, and I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Fix-Sanders for this one, too.
Thank you. I wanted to bring a lot of good news today, everybody. And so it also gives me honor to introduce this young man who has been quite busy. We always think about our young men and what they don't do, but I just want to showcase and celebrate this young man for everything he has done. He wrote his first book at 11 years old. And he has a book series. He has different animals, and I'm going to let him talk about Mr. Tickety Tock Clock. But I want us to celebrate the successes and the positive energy and the positive experiences that our young men and our teens bring to us. Now, he's no longer a teen. Davon, how old are you?
Currently, I'm 23.
He's 23, so I've been knowing him for just that long, and I was introduced to him by Miss Arthurine Williams, who actually helped showcase Davon because we had him come and read his book to some of our children, and he's going to tell you how many books he has and what he's been doing, and we were successful in getting him in the Rays activity book, so he has really, really, really been visible, and I'm so proud of Davon. So I wanted to make sure that you all saw just why I was so proud of his accomplishments. Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you all today. It's a pleasure and an honor to speak in front of all the city council members. It truly warms my heart to see family, friends, and supporters of my work. I've known Ms. Deborah Fix-Sanders for quite a while now, since 2020. Around that time, I was starting a campaign to help other Black authors while also assisting in providing books to children in the area. I'm truly thankful for her support as well as community support as I succeeded with that goal of mine. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Davon Miller, and I was born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. Ever since I was a young kid, I loved reading books. Before I was born, my mom would read to me while I was in her womb, which I attribute to my love of reading. Eventually, as a young child, when I was in preschool and elementary, I would start to write my own little books based on the stories and worlds that I would gravitate towards on television, books, and various other media. It eventually got to the point in my elementary school years that I was writing and drawing so much that I would start writing 100-page stories. I would always share them with my friends. They were always delighted by them. Because I was always seen with a notebook in my hand, someone suggested to my mother that I should think about having a book published. In elementary school, we had a substitute teacher named Miss Linda Mobley, who turned out to also be an author. I was super excited to hear that, and I eventually told her that I liked to write as well. She eventually connected me with an author of hers named Vernon McKinney, and I presented him with the idea of Mr. Tickety Tock Clock, which became a series about a red twin-billed clock who loves to read and tell time. As you can see, here he is right here. So not too soon after, I met Brenda Spalding, another children's author, who explained the publishing process and helped me to find a publisher. I published my first book, Mr. Tickety Tock Clock, Goodnight, Mr. Clock, at the age of 11 in April of 2014. The original book would be followed up with 4 more books before I graduated high school. After the Mr. Tickety Tock Clock series, I wanted to try something different, which eventually became my first standalone book, A Bus Can't Drive Empty, an alphabet alliteration adventure. This book originates from 6th grade, where we had a lesson on figurative language, and the one that I gravitated towards was alliteration, as I felt that it was such a playful and fun language. So I decided to write an alliterative sentence for every letter of the alphabet, and eventually that practice is what led me to writing a story of this bus driver helping these 3 zebras that you see here journey back home. This was my first book to be published under my own publishing company, Picture Novels, and another fun fact, my editor for this book also edited for The Hunger Games. When I was an infant, I was diagnosed with severe asthma, which caused me to be in and out of the hospital constantly. Because the doctors and nurses were always there for me, I wanted to give back to the hospital, and whenever I did a book signing, part of the proceeds would always go to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in benefit of asthma. Something that was important to me whenever I did a book signing was always giving back to the hospital. At the age of 17, I partnered up with Chili's for the Good Eats for the Good Cause initiative, where 20% of the proceeds would go to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital from those that dined in at the restaurant. And last year, I had the pleasure of continuing to invest in the lives of children at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, as I was able to do a live read-aloud of my book that was broadcasted to patients in the hospital. And during that event, I donated money to the hospital as well. Continuing on with my impact, we have hashtag Imagine 2020 Children's Stories, a campaign to help indie African American authors during the rise of the hashtag Black Lives Matters movement. I raised over $2,020 and donated the book's purchase to local elementary schools within St. Petersburg, Florida. I received wonderful community support through this initiative, including from Ms. Deborah Figgs Sanders, where we first got connected. In November of 2021 and 2022, I got to assist Magic Johnson and Marlo Hampton with their Thanksgiving events as they helped to feed our local community in St. Petersburg, Florida. In 2021, I partnered up with the Tampa Bay Rays and participated in their reading program, Reading with the Rays. During that year, I read my books aloud virtually, and it was shared on the Rays website and on their socials. That same year, a few of my books were seen on display at Tropicana Field in the Reading with the Rays section. I was even highlighted in the Tampa Bay Times newspapers in education with the Tampa Bay Rays as a publication highlighted my first book. My work has also been published in the Tampa Bay Rays magazine, Inside Pitch. In 2022, the Rays assisted me in giving back to the Ronald McDonald House during the holiday season. Since 2023, I've been the opening reader for in-person Reading with the Rays events as I read alongside Tampa Bay Rays players. At one of the readings, my book was even translated in sign language so everyone could enjoy the story. In 2024 and 2025, I had the honor of being a judge for the Regional Spelling Bee sponsored by the Tampa Bay Rays. A few other recognitions and accolades I've had during my career include the following. In April of 2020, myself and my book, Mr. Tickety Tock Clock in the Magic Library, was highlighted in a promo for hashtag Save With Stories, which was an initiative created by actresses Jennifer Garner and Amy Adams, in which celebrities would read books on social media to raise money for children that didn't have access to meals during COVID-19. I've also received letters from Barack and Michelle Obama while in middle school after they heard and learned about me as a young children's author. And finally, I became a Sunshine Ambassador for the city of St. Petersburg because of my work in the community. Thank you so much to my mom and dad for all their support in my author journey. Truly thankful to everyone who supported me over the years. Also, thank you so much to God, and I'm incredibly grateful that I get to share stories with children and families. I'm incredibly touched and moved by this honor here today. And of course, happy National Book Month, everyone. Thank you. And with all that said, we actually have a few gifts for all the city council members here. And of course, we also have a very special gift for Ms. Deborah Figgs Sanders as well.
Thank you. I come get it. I come get it. We get all kinds of presents.
Right?
You know, this gave me the job.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my shirt.
This is just a paper.
Beer? No. Is it one size? I've been married for 20 years.
Yeah.
I can take it.
Really?
Yeah.
24 last week.
Well, Davon, while we're getting those handed out, I just wanted to quickly just thank you for the update, and two, it's pretty incredible what you've achieved. At 11 years old, I'm not sure I had read a full book yet, rather than written one, and so just what an accomplishment, and to see the growth and what you've done over that. I feel like it's Christmas up here.
Thank you, Santa.
And so, just so proud of everything that you've achieved and you've done, and can't wait to see what's in store next, whether it's a new book or the next iteration of one of the books. But thank you so much for coming and sharing your story and all the successes, and we're wishing you the best of luck and can't wait to hear what comes next, man. Thank you so much.